All right, all right, all right. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings that is here on this platform, meeting platform, and those that are, of course, on the varied YouTube platform. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Namaste. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful Thursday and maybe Friday in other parts of the world. And we just want to thank you for joining us. And as you know, we do have our signature tune, which has been gifted to us from Queen Loretta Shadari. And we are going to play it at this time. It is In It to Win It. And of course, you know that you have to be in it in order to win it. For anything in life, you have to be in it to win it. So thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadari, for this wonderful song. And as a international singing recording artist, we do thank you very much. Really appreciate, really appreciate. So therefore, signature tune, In It to Win It.
We are here, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one heart and revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. In it to win it, in it to win it. In it to win it, in it to win it. Bringing hope, shining the light. We're a nation, we are rising with one love, with one goal, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise high, standing tall, hand in hand. We are the unicorn, we are the stars. In
closing doors, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadari. And of course, we are going to get into our first and most important presentation for the day, and that is mindset. Mindset is very important to every person in life. Every person. From your born, your mindset start to shape. There's no time that your mindset stop shaping. As long as you're alive, your mindset continue to be shaped, whether for positive or for negative, whether optimistical or pessimistical. Your mindset always shape. So there's nothing as a set mindset. No, mindset can never be set or should never be set.
Won't even use.
Because if you think that you have mindset that is not optimistical, then you should try your very best to reprogram yourself to get it into a more positive or optimistical mindset. All right. And so therefore, the one and only um, wonderful, lovely grandmother. Yes, I did say grandmother. And when she comes on, you're going to wonder if this is really. And what I tell you, so she's grandmother of 9 children. 9 children. And one is on the way. All right. So soon and very soon it will be 10. Oh my goodness. It looks like she's where you call him again? Oh Lord. Well, must have Jacob so she need maybe two more. Right. She need two more for the 12 to be in the lineage of Rachel and Leah, you know, those type of persons. But anyway, all right, without any further ado, of course, she's a entrepreneur, and she's an international um, inspirational speaker. She has been speaking internationally for a number of years now. She's also a talk show host, and her topic today is products made with chemical that causes cancer. So if this chemical or one of these chemicals or a number of these chemicals you are ingesting or around, then you know, think about it and make the necessary adjustment. Maybe you might need to go to the doctor for a checkup or something. But without any further ado, Queen Jacqueline Warner, and of course she's a naturopathic doctor, so she don't deal with the tablet pushing thing. All right, she's natural, just like our body and her hair and her face. No makeup, no rouge, no eyeliner, no shadow, no lipstick, none of that. This woman is natural, come from God. So, without any further ado, Queen naturopathic doctor Jacqueline Warner. Products made with chemical that causes cancer. Over to you.
I hope you can hear me, Dr. Derek. You can hear me?
Yes.
All right.
You're echoing though, but maybe you have two devices.
I don't know where I got that, but it's another story. Anyway, good evening to everyone. It's just a pleasure to be here. Not sure why I'm having this feedback. I was messing with adding a mic still.
You're in YouTube also?
No.
If you have up a YouTube and you're on this.
For real?
Or close any other browser you have.
Don't
Maybe
have anything
there's
else
a browser
open.
that is echoing
Okay,
through.
Yeah, but I don't know where it's coming from.
So close
Anyway,
other browsers.
do you still hear it? Yeah, I still
Yes.
hear it. I don't know what it is. It comes from me messing with the mics. That's what it comes from. Let me see if I can close something else here. Boom. Leave this site. Leave wherever it is. I hope.
All right. Until Queen Jacqueline Warner gets back with us. Maybe she's restarting. So wonderful. We just want to thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate, and of course those on the YouTube platforms. And we just to give you any updates. There is nothing from ashmufareh as yet. So we are still being patient until that materialize. So just be patient and we will see what King Ashmufareh has to say with us whenever he comes on a webinar. But we know that he is working assiduously in respective to getting things up and running in a fantastic dynamic way. Okay, so until Queen Jacqueline Warner returns, all right, so I guess we can do just like last week. So we will look at self-actualization, right? And this is part 3, self-actualization. And we are going to be looking at part 3. If you have not done, okay, without any further ado, I think she's on the webinar now. So let me see if she would be able to speak. And so if you can unmute.
I'm so
Queen
sorry
Jacqueline.
for that. You're gonna hear a little feedback because I did something and I don't know what I did.
Okay. All right. That's all right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek, for this amazing platform. Thank you to all the members who join us this evening for this amazing topic. You know, we just want to thank our Heavenly Father for making all things possible and giving us the knowledge and the understanding so we can gain wisdom in making good decisions and having the right mindset. So tonight we're going to be talking about the hidden dangers in everyday products that we use, that may increase our risk of cancer. Okay, and what we can do about it. Okay, so most of us try to live healthy lives, of course. We've been talking about it for years. Some people have been making some changes. Me, myself, also. So we have to drink water, of course, and we know we have to eat better. We got to exercise. We got to pray. And yet many of us don't realize that some of the very products we use every day in our homes, on our bodies, and in our cars may contain chemicals linked to cancer, hormone disruption, and chronic diseases. Now, these dangers are often invisible. They don't come with a warning bell. They come wrapped in convenience and fashion and modern living. So tonight we're going to shine the light on what's hiding, or what is hidden in plain sight, and how we can take our power back. I remember going into the stores, especially. I think it was before. I think it was during COVID, and I was trying to buy a wooden wall unit, and so online gave me the option of reading the details of the product that I was purchasing. And there I saw that it contained or made with chemicals that cause cancer. So that brought an alert, an alarm to me. Buying sunglasses, I noticed, read it's a little yellow triangle, little symbol that's just on the product. And sometimes at the bottom of shoes, you will find it not enclosed per se, but it will tell you that it's made with stuff that I bought a dress one time that actually said it's made with chemicals that cause cancer, and I had to return it immediately. And even the store attendant was like, they never saw that before. And it's because we don't read our labels. So it's not, we don't even have to read the labels only when we purchase food, but in everything we pick up and that we're going to put in our home. Because we don't know. It's all about profit. It's not about human. Okay. And maybe they don't even look at us as humans either. So God knows. Anyway, now the common products that may contain cancer-linked chemicals, number one is furniture and home items, like your couches, your mattresses, your carpets, often treated with flame retardant like PBDs, PDEs. They didn't give me the abbreviation for that. And then that pressed wood, you're looking for complete wood or full wood products, furniture. Pressed wood is made, has that formaldehyde in it. So that's the chemical right there. Anytime you see this, even I think in our fingernail polish that we put on our nails, and in our nail polish remover, and so many other different things, you find that once you get familiar with it, then you will be able to recognize it immediately and know that I don't want that. The vinyl flooring and shower curtain has phthalates in it. I probably should even spell it out, but it's cancer causing chemical. Air fresheners that we like to make our house smell great. We're not accustomed to our normal smells or scent. So we think we need air fresheners to make our home. You can use an infusion and put a couple of drops of oil in there, your favorite oil, and that will scent your home. Or you could put a pot of cinnamon to boil, a couple of sticks, and that will give your home a warm and calm atmosphere. Okay, so you don't need those scented things that mess up your nostrils, your membranes inside of your nostrils. Also, scented candles. Those are synthetic fragrances. They fall under the VOCs. Okay, that's VOC. They didn't break it down for me. Anyway, clothing, the next thing, shoes and accessories. Those clothes that say non-wrinkle, stain-resistant fabrics, they are full of what they call PFAS, PFAS. It's a forever chemicals. Okay, cheap synthetic clothing like polyester. People just don't want to press clothes anymore. They just want to pull on, wash and go. That's what they call them. Wash and go clothes. You don't have to press. We have taken what was norm and made it abnorm. It's almost like God said, we'll take a lie will be the truth, and the truth will be a lie. So this non-wrinkle and not being aware that these fabrics, polyester, nylon, treated with dyes and finishes, these are chemicals. And when you put them on your skin, like we said before, or we learned, that anything you put on your skin goes into your body and then into the bloodstream. And we want to know why cancer is so vibrant. You know, it's like a vine. It's like it's everywhere. And it truly is. Shoes made with chemical glues and foams. And our feet, you know, they have several pores there. Those things could get in. Anything on the skin goes into the body. Sunglasses and plastic frames, they're made of the BPA and other plastic chemicals. So we got to be so careful more than ever, because we're trying to live a healthy lifestyle, but yet we have all of these chemicals causing products around us, and we're totally unaware. Even our personal care products, lotions. You don't need lotions, perfumes, deodorants. And that's, you notice a lot of your creams go say, oh, parabens free and phthalates free. They don't say it free, but they usually say parabens free. Well, if they take out something, they got to put something in. Simple as that. The best thing to do is just a suggestion. You have olive oil. You have coconut oil. You got all kind of different oils. Make your own portion. It's not going to take a whole day. You know, you go to work 9 to 5, put in for somebody else, put some time in for yourself and do the things that can save our lives. Your perfumes, be careful. They don't tell you exactly what they have on them. So that's right there to tell you that company or that manufacturer do not care about us. There are perfumes that tells you exactly what are in them. And those are the ones you should purchase. And perfumes do come with an expiration date. At least the company that I deal with, it tells me what's in my perfume and an expiration date follows. Okay? Hair relaxers and dyes. We don't realize that they're harming us. You know, my hair looks beautiful. Girl, that dye is the bomb. But now you hear relaxers, you see it on commercials, you see it in the news, that hair relaxers causes cancer. You think they didn't know that before? They didn't care. We want to relax our curls and our coils. You know, we don't like our natural selves. We don't like our natural crowns. And then one thing leads to the next. Nail polish and removers. The chemicals, the sunscreens, and the oxybenzones, all chemicals. You're protecting yourself from the sun? We definitely don't need sunscreen because we have melanin in our body that takes care of that. That's why we need the sun a little more than others, because we have a natural sunscreen built in. So don't follow others and think because they're using sunscreen that we need to use it too. We came from the sun. We live in the sun, you know? Okay, then you got your kitchen and food contact items. Those non-stick cookware. Why? Either you can't cook or you burn your food, and that's why you might need non-stick cookware. No. You're causing havoc we are causing havoc to our health. I always look for stainless steel. That's my thing. Non-stick is not my cup of tea. Plastic containers and also the bottles. You know, some of the bottled water now might say no BPA or no BPS. And so you have to look for those things when you purchase in water, especially water that you're going to drink. And then most likely, some people generally put the plastic bottles in the freezer. For what reason, I don't know. I guess they want ice, not water. I have to conclude, you know. And then what happens when it thaws out now, the chemical, the BPA that's in the water, in the bottle, in the plastic, start dripping when you tar it, now drip into the water. So that water is toxic. So change from ice water to room temperature or cold water, but it's chemically, you chemically activated it with the BPA that comes from the plastic itself, from the plastic container. Sometimes the water is sitting outside at gas station in the hot sun. I look at it, I'll be like, oh my God, is people going to buy that still? And people do. It's almost like we're totally unaware of what we're doing. We're not here. Or somewhere else. And then can linings. Well, I noticed that they start putting the white lining inside of the can. But I try myself not to buy too much canned goods because of the sodium and also because of the lining. You have to be so careful. Okay. And then the microwavable plastics. The microwave already by itself is toxic. And then we put our food to heat up in the plastic containers. So when that plastic is heated, those BPAs goes into your food. And plus the heat from the the microwave waves or the radioactive waves kill the nutrition already in your food, the nutrients in the food. So you're really just eating garbage. Simple as that. Can't put it no other way. Get a toaster oven. Yes, it might not be fast as the speed of a microwave, but it's a darn well much safer. Okay? So those are some changes that you can make along the way. You don't need a microwave. I don't care how much they advertise them. I don't care if they have them for 50 cents. Is your life or your health cost that cheap? Wow. Then we got cleaning products. I was a person, I didn't know better, boy, and you could tell me I love bleach. I had loved bleach. I won't say I loved it, but I sure was using it. I didn't know better. I thought my clothes had to go in bleach. The kids' socks, they get them so dirty, and you got to get the bleach, soak them in the bleach before you get them to the laundry and all that good stuff. But bleach itself is a chemical. And when I stopped using bleach, let me tell you, my white stayed white. Okay? I didn't have to put bleach in the water to make them look brighter. Because the bleach in turn eats them up, and then you start getting these little holes in your clothes and you wonder where they're coming from. And the bleach sprays because you got mold in the bathrooms or around the zinc area where water sits. No, there's other chemicals that you can use. Stop with the bleach. It's not healthy. Even disinfectants. They're not safe. Use baking soda and vinegar to mop your floors. I mean, it does justice. And you don't have all those fabulosa smell. Oh my gosh, I hate that fabulosa. Then we got laundry detergents that we're not thinking about with synthetic fragrances and all those boosters to say, oh, it's gonna smell. They have new stuff now saying, oh, the smell will last longer. That stuff is going into your body. And the soap powders, I really don't want to name it, but I know them. That's tied. Number one, Gain, even Arm and Hammer that I used to love to use back in the day. They are cancer caused because of the chemicals. You just want your clothes to be clean. You don't need to put all kind of smell so your stuff could smell good. And then you're going to put on perfume on top of that smell in your clothes. You know, they have softeners that doesn't have chemicals. We just have to take the time to do the research to get the knowledge that we need and the understanding, and then we can we'll be wise to make better decisions. Because we cannot live a healthy life if we're not reading our labels. Even when you go and buy vitamins, you still got to know if that one is toxic and if that one is not toxic. Because God clearly states in his word, there's good and bad in everything. He never omitted nothing. So these chemicals have and been associated in studies with increased cancer risk, hormone disruption, fertility problems, immune system suppression, and developmental issues in children. You know, a lot of times they say, well, your children is hyperactive. Why do you think they're hyperactive? They're eating microwave food, or they're eating fast food foods. They're eating frozen foods because parents are too busy to prepare a meal for them. They in turn will become adults and they will feed those same parents TV dinners, something quick, because they won't have time to take care of them. It's a domino effect and it doesn't stop. And that's how ancestral curses are formed, are manifested. We create them ourselves due to the lack of knowledge, due to the lack of not taking time to see what is good or bad that we are using or intaking into our bodies. So what can we do about it? We definitely don't need perfection, but we need progress and awareness. And here are some powerful little steps any one of us can take. We can choose safer materials, can we? Of course. Glass or stainless steel instead of plastic. You see the glass containers out there? Yes, they might cost a little more than plastic, but aren't they more safer? A matter of fact, we came from glass. When the milkman used to deliver our milk back in the day, it came in glass bottles. When we collected our sodas back in the day, they were in glass bottles. They were not in plastic. We used paper bags instead of plastic. So you see, something is wrong. So we go from good to bad. We didn't go from bad to good, because what we had before was good. But the thing is now is profit. How can we keep more and give less? And that's exactly what's happening in the planet today. We're getting less and they're getting more. And what makes it so bad, they don't even care what chemicals they use. They don't know better. Girl, they ain't gonna even read the labels. They just gonna put it on because they have studied our behaviors. And they know exactly what you're gonna do. And today they know more than ever because you know what? Our cell phones just tell it all. Everything we do is recorded, not only in heaven, but on earth. So we gotta, instead of solid, choose safer materials. So you gotta, instead of solid wood, you can choose solid wood or metal furniture. And you see a lot of that been taking place now in the furniture. When it comes to furniture, there's a lot of the metal beds and solid wood. I always look for solid wood. It is a little bit more money, but that's what we came from. Do you remember your grandparents' furniture? They were hard. We had to polish them. They wasn't, you couldn't move them anywhere, and they were solid. We had solid wooden tables, mahogany. We had awesome stuff. Today we got all of this stuff that ain't, they make it look good, but it ain't good. Then you got the organic cotton or bamboo fabrics. Let me tell you, I had a bamboo sheet. I was sleeping a set that I bought for a while, and then I said, I always got it sitting there. Let me wash it and get it. And always wash your stuff before you even wear them or put them on your bed. A lot of people, you can tell when they take a new shirt out of the package, it still have all the creases in it, and it's not from a press. So wash shirt. So you got to be careful. Baby clothes too. Wash your baby clothes. Just because they came from the store, but they had to be manufactured, and they had to go through all kind of process before they got to you. So let's use wisdom. And that sheet felt it so good and so soft. And I was complimenting it while I was sleeping it. So that means it felt so good. And organic cotton, you're going to pay a little more. Yes. But I'd rather pay more, even if I have to sleep on that sheet every week. I don't care, as long as I wash it and it's clean. We got to keep life simple, because at the end of the day, it's all vanity. And then, of course, read your labels. Avoid products listing. Fragrance. Why you need fragrance in your cream? It's supposed to be cream. You need fragrance in it? They add these things to it. Parabens. When you see that, don't buy it. Fat phthalates. When you see it, don't buy it. And that formaldehyde, you see it in nail polish and different other products, even in furniture. Don't buy it. Of course, you have to look out for the PFAS, PFAS, whatever they want to call it, and the BPA. Once I see things, any one of those in any product I have to buy, I just don't buy it. A perfect example, I went in the store this morning because I wanted to make my cousin some soup. She has the flu. So I went to look. I don't use any adjectives, but I know they like the Maggie this and Maggie that. So I said, well, let me go look to see if I can find something that don't have. So I picked it up, and I noticed, I read in everything else, a lot of ingredients. Some I could recognize and some I couldn't recognize. And then I came about that MSG. I said, I'm not getting that. And not because I wasn't doing it for myself, would I give it to somebody else? The same measures you have for yourself is the same measures you should have for someone else. So I said, well, let me look for some organic broth, chicken broth to make for her. And I found it, and I bought it. But if you don't read your labels, you will pick it up because it's the norm. I'm accustomed of getting that. But you was not accustomed of reading the ingredients. Because sometimes you look at it and you see all these ingredients. I said, honey, you might as well stay on the shelf. You got too much for me to read. It's more than a paragraph. What's going on? And sometimes they have the stuff in small little letters on the edge or on the very end where you won't even look. I remember telling a gentleman one time, sir, that has MSG in it, or the sodium. Did you check the sodium intake? But they had the letters so small, He didn't have his glasses, so now he couldn't even read what it was actually in it. And because he's so accustomed of purchasing it anyway, it was hard to relate to what I was saying. And it's okay, you know, to each his own. So we have to improve indoor air. Open your windows daily. I see people live in homes and they never open the window. The only time the place gets air is when they go out the door. And that's only for that's only for, you could say, a second or two. Open your windows and let the air flow to and from your home. It's cleaning your air. No, they put on the AC and they keep the windows closed up year after year, never opening them. Why? Well, they claim it's safety. They scared someone, or they forget to lock the window and someone come in. Then set an alarm or something, or put something on the calendar. Don't forget to clock the window. You know, my windows are open 24/7. First, I didn't have screens, but I still kept them open. Danger is everywhere, yes. But I need my air to flow in my house. I can't stand close up because you're breathing each other. If somebody in the house is sick, everybody is breathing that sickness into, and then everybody in the house is sick. It's just like the office. If the windows are not open, you just have AC, which is a contamination by itself already. And then we're just breathing on each other bacteria. And then some people will get sick according to their immune system. If your immune system is weak, here, easy for any pathogen or parasite, I will say, to attach to you. And then use houseplants. Some people don't have time for houseplants. Girl, I don't have a green thumb. Well, find the plants. There's plants who doesn't need much care. They don't even need much light. You put them in a window area where the light comes into the house, and you water them periodically. I have plants here that sometimes I don't even water. I just look at them and say, okay, I'm gonna give you some water. When I leave them in the care of someone else, they overwater them and their roots die. And they need this. You look for the plants that don't need a lot of care, because it cleanses the air in your home. You know, the snake plants cleans the air in your home. You know, like when I know they say like Panama or most of those hospitals in South America, they have plants inside the hospital rooms because they cleans the air. So don't eliminate house plants and put the artificial ones that only look good. They don't do nothing else. Okay? And avoid synthetic air fresheners. Get a infuser or whatever they call it. I have one around the house here. And I put a little oil and a little clear tea candle in there and light it, and it does wonders. I'd put some lavender, anything soothing and calming, and it's good. It's healthy. You know, you can do natural things of putting lemon in your kitchen, dry the lemon, cut them into slices, and make your own little stuff. You know, convenience actually kills. Even though it's good, it's bad too. So wash new clothes before wearing. Cook with cast iron, stainless steel, or ceramic pots. That's what we came from. We didn't come from non-stick and all of that. And simplify your personal care. Even toothpastes are dangerous, especially when they say keep away from children. You know, use your baking soda, get your peppermint oil, put 2 or 3 drops on your toothbrush and scrub your teeth. Make your water and throw some oil in there, rosemary or mint, whatever your flavors you like, and make your own mouthwash. Keep life simple, because all these frills are killing us slowly but surely. So use fewer products and choose cleaner brands when possible. You know, there's an app, I forgot the name, but you can put an app on your phone and you can scan. If you don't want to read, you could just scan it and it tells you if it's good or bad. Okay, so use technology where it benefits you. Then you got to support your body's natural detox. You got to drink clean water, not any kind of water. Either distilled water, or better yet, you can buy a distilled machine that sits on your counter, is not $1,000, is not $500, and is not $100. Okay, and we sometimes need to invest in our health. Okay, and spring water. Okay, if you could get the glass bottles, it's easier, but if you get the plastic, make sure it doesn't have BPA or BPS or C. And then you got to sweat regularly. Sometimes we don't sweat. That's not good. Ain't no toxins leaving the body whatsoever beside the one that you go and urinate. But we need to sweat regularly. So if you got to do some push-ups, some jumping jacks, or some walking to just get those sweat glands working. You know, get those sweat glands working. They need to work. They're there for a reason. They're just not to sit there. They're going to get clogged. And then you're going to have another issue. And get quality sleep. And I know some of us get up at a certain time automatically, and I noticed that in my sleep study, but I have to decide the time I go to bed so I can get the quality sleep that I need. So that's our responsibility. The body, you know what? Some people get up by alarm clock, so you know when you're going to get up. So you can count from there and know exactly what time you need to go to bed. I know the latest for me is 10 if I don't get up at 3 every morning. So I even have to go to bed a little earlier. So we have to train ourselves, okay? It's not going to happen just overnight. And how we protect ourselves and our families. Protection starts with knowledge, okay? Then comes intention, and then comes action. So when we teach our children, we make better choices when we shop. We stop normalizing toxic living. You know, those are the things, that's how we protect ourselves. We don't have to change everything overnight. Start with one rule, one product, and one habit. Remember, small steps create lasting transformation. And let me summarize. Many everyday products, from furniture to clothing to cosmetics, may contain chemicals linked to cancer and chronic illness. But these toxins enter our bodies through air, our skin, and food. So while we cannot control everything, we can reduce exposure by choosing safer materials, reading our labels, improving air quality, simplifying products, and supporting our body's natural defenses. Awareness is empowerment. In conclusion, health is not accidental, it's intentional. So every choice we make, it's either moving us closer to healing or closer to harm. We live in a world where convenience often comes at a cost, but we are not powerless. So when we become conscious consumers, and when we protect our homes, and when we honor our bodies, we reclaim control over our future. I thank you so much, each and every one of you, for your listening in. I hope this information brings you value, but most of all, that it brings you healing and it brings you knowledge with understanding, where we all will gain wisdom to make the best choices we can when it comes to our health. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And enjoy the rest of the webinar. Thank you, King Carlton. Thank you, Dr. Derek.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. Oh, that was more than a mouthful. Oh my goodness.
It sure was.
Nice, nice. Listen, we might have to clear out everything out of the house. Goodness. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, you might have to sleep on mats. Papa,
Sleep
you.
on the mat. Sleep on, oh mercy, but me have both floor too.
It's terrible, I know.
Anyway, it's not the synthetic board, it's a good board. Good mahogany board.
Yep, back in the day.
Back in the day. Good mahogany board there, man. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner. Any person have any questions or any comments? Anyone? Any questions? Any comment? Anyone? All right. I did have a question, you know. I did have a question. How the question going? I think you were talking about the different chemicals. And yes, okay, right. You were talking about Black people and sunscreen.
Yeah.
Could you just elaborate on that a little more? That you see, my great grandmother Dingy would say, monkey see, monkey do. Unfortunately, and that is what happened. I think
I think basically, Dr. Derek, what happens, people go by perception. And then that perception turns into a behavior. They actually they see it, they see people doing it, they don't read anything, they don't know, they just act. But I came to realize, or I actually learned, that because we have so much melanin in our body, it protects us against the rays of the sun. And that's why our vitamin D level is low. But it only let us know that we need to stay in the sun a little longer. The people that are staying in the sun too long is getting skin cancer. I never actually heard of any person of color developing skin cancer. I heard of heat strokes, yes, but I haven't heard of skin cancer. They cook their skin. Even with the sunblock, they still end up getting skin cancer because they don't have enough melanin in their bodies according to where they reside. So if you live in the cold climates, it looks like your skin is more thinner and it doesn't have the melanin already. So then you develop another issue already. So they think they need sunscreen. They might need sunscreen, but they're using chemicals on their body, which is causing this cancer. And they claim to call it skin cancer. They put name to things. Okay.
No, no.
Okay.
So that's the
Nice,
reason
nice.
we don't need any sunscreen,
Right,
and we
right,
shouldn't
right.
use any sunscreen unless we know what we're using. If you want to protect yourself
Nice.
against something, I don't know what it is. We already
Right.
protected by our skin with the melanin within it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a waste of time.
Mercy.
It's terrible.
Waste of time and waste of money.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely. So, especially people of color, people that are very colorful, please don't use sunscreen.
You
It
don't
wasn't
need
made
it,
for you.
but they
It
don't
wasn't made for
know.
us. All right. You see, and that's why, as a young boy coming up, I love to ask questions.
Yes, indeed.
Questions. You understand? I don't just jump and just do things just because Tom Strokes and Mary Jane is doing it. No. Mm-mm. No. I want to know what I'm putting in, or if I am putting something on my body. I want to know what it is. You know, I want to know what it is.
Yeah. Stop using creams. Stop using those creams. They're not doing you any good. Use
My
olive oil
brother,
on your skin. You got to
or
use what your skin recognize. Your skin does not recognize those creams and the chemicals that you put on it.
right. I put castor oil on my skin
Castor oil
sometimes.
is good
Use
because it
castor oil as
recognizes it.
hair oil, and what this one name again? Tea tree oil,
Tea tree oil is
something like,
antifungal.
and also rosemary oil.
Rosemary oil is good.
Yeah,
You can
nice.
make your own portions at home and you will be so surprised. Creativity is the
Definitely.
bomb
Or I use Vaseline. You can
back
use
in the
Vaseline.
days, but they talk about the petroleum and it blocking pores, so I'm not sure about it
Oh,
anymore.
okay, okay, okay.
But we use it for years, but it might be different from what we had back then to what it is today. That's the
Well, yeah,
problem.
yes, definitely. All right,
You got
wonderful. Thank you
cocoa
very much.
butter and you got shea butter if you could get it in the natural state. Because in Africa, I think in South Africa, they use that. It's for healing. It's almost like a ritual, shea butter in Africa. So shea butter is very good to use.
Mm-hmm,
If you could get the natural one. You could try
mm-hmm.
the Arab stores, they usually carry them.
Right, right. Beautiful. All right. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner. All right. I'm not seeing any hands. And
Let's move
so
on.
let us proceed to the next presentation, of which the next presentation will be done by yours truly. So let me get this on the road. As we have started couple weeks now, maybe 2 weeks, the understanding self-actualization. We did part 1 last week. I mean, part 2 last week and part 1 the week before. So we are actually on part 3. So, as I share my screen. Okay, wonderful. All right. So, part understanding self-actualization, part 3. And as we know, definitely self-actualization, just to recap on last week, self-actualization is the psychological process of realizing one's full potential, creativity, and talents. representing the highest level of personal growth in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It involves becoming one's authentic self, characterized by self-awareness, autonomy, and a drive to achieve rather than being driven by external rewards. So, this week we're going to zero in on stages in the process. Stages in the process. So, while not rigid, linear process, self-actualization typically follows the fulfillment of low-level needs. Physiological, safety, love, belonging, and esteem. In Maslow's hierarchy, it is considered a lifelong journey rather than a final destination, which focus areas changing from youth, adulthood to later in life. So it's not something that you reach at a destination. And so, yay, it's a lifestyle process. Lifestyle process. Looking at things from the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, to which is a motivational theory in psychology, comprising of 5-tier model of human needs, often depicted as hierarchical level within a pyramid. Needs lower down from the foundation in the hierarchy must be satisfied before individual can attain to needs higher up. So, needs hierarchy. The original hierarchy includes physiological, safety, love, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization needs. Later, expansion adds cognitive, authentic, and transcending needs, not strictly linear. While Maslow initially processed that lower needs must be relatively satisfied before higher needs or higher ones, modern research suggests people often pursue multiple needs simultaneously. Cultural variations. Different different societies may prioritize needs differently. Individualistic versus collectivist cultures, for example, can shape which needs take precedence. Practical applications in fields like education, healthcare, and workplace management. Maslow's framework helps identify barriers to motivation and guides strategies to fulfill various needs. Criticism. Maslow biographical approach, cultural biases, and the debate over rigid versus flexible ordering highlights the importance of viewing his theory as a starting point rather than an absolute rule. So what we are sharing is not absolute, right? It's so that you can pick something out of it to help you in your lifestyle. So, what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? According to Maslow, human needs were arranged in a hierarchy, with physiological, which is survival, needs at the bottom, and the more creative and intellectual oriented self-actualization needs at the top. So it's having a foundation before you grow. Maslow argued that survival needs must be satisfied before the individual can satisfy the higher needs. The higher up the hierarchy, the more difficult it is to satisfy the needs associated with that stage because of interpersonally, interpersonal and environmental barriers that inevitably frustrate us. Higher needs become increasingly psychological and long term rather than psychological and short term, as in the lower survival related needs. So let us look at that hierarchy in a pyramid setting. So, first, we are going to have the basic needs. What are the basic needs? And of course, as Maslow was putting it together, he said physiological needs. What are physiological needs? Needs for your physical self. You need food, you need water, you need warmth, and you need rest. Okay? Those are just basic needs. And obviously, some of these needs are not met in some people. And if you notice, most of those persons don't have a job, cannot be creative, and all of that. They maybe live on the street and all of that, because not even the physiological needs are being met. Another basic set of needs is safety needs, security and safety, right? And as I said, some people live on the road, so they are not secure. So therefore, they will not be able to um, own anything very expensive because they don't have anywhere to even put it. So the whole aspect of this thing. All right. So those are the basic needs for people, for everyone. So let us look at some psychological needs. These psychological needs are belongingness and the need for love. So you're talking about intimate relationships, friends, etc. No, people that live on the road can have friends. People that live on the road can be intimate. All right. But most of the time, it is done in the wrong setting. It's not done in a marital setting. It's not done in a wholesome setting. And so, even though they might be satisfying these needs, it might not be done properly. Right. So, psychological needs, another set of them is esteem needs, which is prestige and feeling of accomplishment. Now, if a person live on the road, there's no way they can feel accomplished, right? If a person is definitely struggling to even find food and water and a warm place to be and a secure place to have rest, it is very difficult to really be accomplished. Okay, very difficult. So that is what Maslow meant. That is what Maslow meant by if your physiological needs are not met, it is very difficult to satisfy higher needs. in the Maslow hierarchy, right? And the last one is self-fulfillment needs. All right. And that, of course, is the last one, number 5, self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. And that is where self-actualization really lies, ensuring that all of these needs are met. And if really and truly all of these needs are not met, then it is a little bit difficult to actually be fulfilled in respective to where self-actualization is concerned. So we will maybe continue next week with another self-actualization. So let me stop here for the time being. And that is today's presentation. All right. Thank you all very much. And we do hope and trust that you benefit or benefited from these 2 presentations. Any questions or comments? All right. So
Well,
everybody is good. Oh, go ahead, Queen
I'm just going to
Jacqueline
say,
Warner.
that amazing topic. It's really an amazing topic, and it has to deal. It's us dealing with ourselves. And I just thought of those people that never make it on the chart. The ones that their basic needs are not even met at all. Because you can be homeless and some of those basic needs are met, you know. But I think it all depends on the person himself, or the mindset. So it's sad to see that they don't even make it on the chart. I know of some people here that especially men and a lady, that they just walk around and they don't have, they have to look for a place to sleep. They're asking for food, or sometimes I just go and purchase some food and give to them, or clothing. So those people never make it to the chart at all. They don't ever get to fulfill their psychological needs. Their basic needs are not met. Uh, they never get to fulfillment. And not saying that maybe they weren't there before, because sometimes some people, if you meet some of the homeless people I remember in New York and you talk to them, some of them were directors. They were well, awesome people of society already, but something went wrong, and that's what they went to. Being homeless, didn't care about the world anymore or themselves. So it's a really amazing topic, and I think actualization comes somewhere in your life too. Um, I think it's a natural process that we go through naturally, because I remember when I can't be, maybe in my 40s, I was, this is what I want to do, because this is what I really wanted to accomplish, to help others. And I think the fulfillment would have came from there, the self-actualization. So I think we all have it already built in. It's just how we go about recognizing it and understanding ourselves. So thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Awesome. Look forward to hearing the other part of Maslow hierarchy.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen
You're welcome.
Jacqueline Warner. Well, that is it, and this is what Maslow hierarchy is saying, that if these basic needs
It's
are
messy.
not met,
Whew.
it's hard to, the foundation the foundation. If the foundation is not met, it's very difficult to continue up on the hierarchy pyramid, right? So you are correct. Unfortunately, whether you were a director or you were, it's not a matter of your position in life or your status in life, because anything can happen and wipe out your savings, wipe out the house that you owned, right? A fire, and set you back. And so where you are now, you have to start over,
Yep.
right? Because you don't have that house anymore. You don't have that car anymore. Because you maybe sell the car to maybe just to get basic
Maintain.
items for food or water or what have you. And then now, you know, house went into foreclosure because your husband or your wife died.
Wow.
And
Ooh.
so, you know, the medical bills coming at you without fail. And, you know, anything, anything.
Yes.
So it's not, and that is why the mindset is always growing, always, right? So what do you do when that happens to you? You have to start from the foundation. You have to take care of your basic needs:
Needs.
the water, the
A
food,
place to sleep.
somewhere to sleep, for warmth, etc. Yeah, have to just start from the basic needs and climb
Slowly
step by
but
step,
surely back up to
round
that
by
ladder.
round. Yeah. Fortunately, you know, you when you when you were just born, you were at the foundation. But fortunately, your parents were providing that for you. Fortunately, right? So it's just a guide. So it's not that you start there when you're a young person and then that's it. No, anything can happen in life and
Yes,
set you
sir.
back. And you have to now remember the steps, the foundation, ensure that you are safe, ensure that you have food, ensure that you have security, ensure that you have water, ensure that you have a place that is warm, etc. It's just to get back in that foundation and build again for you to reach that self-actualization, basically.
Dr. Derek, would you say that people give up on themselves?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
sometimes. And that's why people commit suicide, because they reach a point
but
that they give up on
they can't
themselves
take it
so
anymore.
bad that they don't see where they can operate realistically in society anymore. So yes, people give up on themselves.
I remember when I
Unfortunately,
had a fire,
you know,
I got burned out.
suicide. Huh?
I remember I got burned out in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming home from work and I was I usually stop at the grocery store to pick up some odds and ends. And my neighbor met me in the supermarket and he said, "You won't need that anymore," because
Mm.
my apartment was burned down. Thank God
Wow.
it sustained only in my apartment, so other people didn't get hurt. But my stuff was all burned, except for my
Wow.
little Bible. So I went to my sister house that evening, and in the morning I got up, me and my little children, and we went to AEUs to get a place to live.
Mm.
And I kept on going. I still had a job, and my kids still had to go to school. So I didn't stop anything. I just kept moving forward, and I think that helped me because if I had stopped like and got sad and I don't have this. It didn't work that way. You know, people bought
Mhm.
me a whole lot of stuff on my job and they bought my kids clothes and I just kept on going till I got back up on my feet again. So
Beautiful.
you can do it. It's the mindset and trusting in God a lot too, that He will make a way.
Yep. It can be done, and
Yeah.
it has been done
And
by
it has been
others.
done.
So it's just to recognize the steps to take, right? The foundation, basic needs, physiological needs, safety needs, you know, etc. You have to just climb back up until you reach that self-actualization
Yeah.
where you are back to a very good place. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner.
You're
And
welcome,
at
sir.
this time, we're just going to ask you
Do my
to
closing.
give your closing.
You know, God said it in His word in Hosea 4 and chapter 4, verse 6. He clearly states that my people perish for the lack of knowledge. And I think that's something we need to keep in our minds, in our hearts, and in our soul. When we get to those areas, when we know that we got to make better choices, when we know that I'm not sure about this, let me look into it a little more. Let me check it out. It's just like when you going into a new business or jumping into something new. You got to find out, like Dr. Derrick always say, make sure it's valid, that it's legitimate. And so we got to look into everything in our lives, our food that we buy, you know, but today we choose knowledge, we choose wisdom, and we choose life. He said in John 3 1 and verse 2, he said, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health. So God desires our health. He wants us to be healthy. He don't want us to be broken. He don't want us to be unhealthy. He don't want us to suffer because we already got some suffering to do that we're not in control of. And he know that will come. That's why he talks about long suffering in his word, you know? So he know what we got to go through. Because Jesus didn't just die for our sins, but he showed us the way that all the things he went through, that we will go through them too. We are no different than Jesus. So he calls us to be good stewards of our bodies that he gave unto us. So let this be our wake up call, so we to know. It says, like, if you know better, when you learn something, you can't go back unless you choose to go back. But when you learn something that is for your benefit, you go forward. You don't go backward. You could stay in the same spot, yes, but that's a choice. And not a fair message, but it's a fake message. So you start where you are, you use what you have, and you do what you can. Your body is your temple, your home is your sanctuary, and your choices matter. So again, choose life, choose your health, and choose awareness, because we are worth protecting. So thanks again. I hope, like I said, this message, this topic, this word is beneficial to each and every one of us, and it helps us to make changes. And they don't happen overnight, but you take one step at a time, one habit, one whatever it may be, one thing at a time, and you feel so good and confident. You be filled with esteem. You know that I am safe. I'm doing something for not only myself, but also for my family. And which can transition into your friends, because once they see you looking good, or girl, what you doing? You glowing, you know, your weight, how you keeping your weight? There's a lot of things they might notice and ask, why is your skin so beautiful? It will be all because of the choices that we make. So I thank you again and enjoy the rest of the webinar. And back to you, Dr. Deborah. Thank you.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Queen Naturopathic Dr. Jacqueline Warner. That was just awesome, awesome, awesome. Definitely. Let us, I mean, some people going to be a little bit pessimistical and say, well, I'm going to die one day, so neither here nor there. But yeah, you want to still, if you are living, if you are alive, you want to live some amount of quality of life. You don't want to be sickly and you visit the doctor 2, 3 times a week. That's not quality of life. So yes, even though I'm not sickly or I'm going to die soon, then I mean quality of life is important. Quality of life is important. Well, all right, it's important to me. You'd have to make that choice because everybody have to make their choice, whether that is important to you or you like feeling sick, you know, every week. You have a splitting headache, you have a whatever it is. You have to go to the doctor 3 times for the week. That's not a life to live. Your life have to be scheduled by doctor visits. No, mm-mm. I don't want to live a life like that. So I try my best to stick with the law of health, and Queen Jacqueline Warner is giving it to us. Many years now, giving it to us, right? And I really appreciate, really love it, and I really take note, and also I transfer those notes into my daily lifestyle, because you can never attain all the knowledge that there is to attain. So, hey, it is very good to have good mindset, and self-actualization gives you the blueprint to have that lifestyle, to live a self-actualization type of lifestyle. So I thank you all very much for being here, for sharing your time with us here on Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. I thank you all, and also those on our varied YouTube channel. And everyone is saying hello. Yes, some persons were saying that they cannot hear clearly. Queen Jacqueline Warner. So we might have to rinse and repeat that that presentation in the future, as persons are saying on the YouTube that the sound was a little distorted. All right. Anyway, thank you all very much. Really appreciate. And
Good night, everybody. Good night, good night. Jacqueline, you have to do for that presentation. I was getting a little mumble up. Yes, you really have to do it over.
right. Okay.
Dr. Derek,
All
good
right.
night. Everybody,
One,
everybody, love, love, love in the house.
enough love in the house. All right. But we're going to
Yes.
have a little after party, right? Also, we're going to have a little after party. So before we just want to say
I
good
told you
night
that after this.
to the persons on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. And remember, we do have Dream Team coming up on Sunday, 12:45 Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, every Tuesday and Thursday, live One Global Movement with the Yvonne Duo, Queen Jacqueline Warner. No, my bad. Queen Yvonne Finn and Queen Dr. Yvonne. And then on Thursday morning, we
Yeah,
have O
that match the
Passion,
thing.
Singapore, Malaysia.
What is this? Oh,
So please remember that we do have other webinars. So without any further ado, thank you all very much for joining us and have a blessed and wonderful weekend. Weekend. All right, wonderful. Take care, persons on YouTube especially.
Hi, everybody. Bye.
Here we have.
bye.
Hi, free counseling.
Right?
Okay.
Here we have a little after party. So just bear with us for those who can.